Hello. In this video, we are going to continue where we left off in the last episode. So, in the last episode, we learnt about prokaryotic cells, and let's just revise basic revision of what we have learned till now. Till now, we started off with a basic overview of a cell, like what is a cell, and then we learnt about the cell theory. It's like a theory which is true for all the cells in the living world, and then we moved on to the basic classification of cells into eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells based on whether they have a membrane bound nucleus or they don't have a membrane bound nucleus respectively. So then we went in depth into what a prokaryotic cell is. We have finished that in the last episode. So in the prokaryotic cell, we just notice the pattern here. Initially we learnt about the basic overview of a prokaryotic cell, and then we moved on to learning the structures, learning about the structures inside a prokaryotic cell, general prokaryotic cell, like you can say pili, fimbria, flagella, ribosomes, inclusion bodies, cell envelope. And in cell envelope also we learnt about the layers of the cell envelope, like glycocalyx layer, the cell wall, and the plasma membrane. So similarly, now we are going to start off with eukaryotic cells, and we are going to get a basic overview of what eukaryotic cells are, and then we are going to go in depth into understanding the structures within a eukaryotic cell. Okay, let's start off with what eukaryotic cells are. Okay, eukaryotes include all the protists, plants, animals, and fungi. Now, as I said in the last episode, prokaryotic cells, or I'll just repeat myself, prokaryotic cells are essentially Monera. They fall in the kingdom Monera, which is Sir R.H. Whittaker's 5-kingdom classification. Prokaryotic cells fall in the kingdom Monera, and they are all bacteria. And except bacteria, which are all the prokaryotic cells, all the other organisms like protists, animals, fungi, plants, everything is a eukaryotic type of organism. Okay, they're all made up of eukaryotic cells. Okay, so the eukaryotes, let's just break down the word also. Eu means true, karyon means nucleus, a true nucleus, so something that possesses a true nucleus. That means it is just implying that the nucleus is membrane bound. These cells have a membrane bound nucleus, and the nuclear genetic material is not just present in the cytoplasm, and it has a membrane around it. So in eukaryotic cells, there is an extensive compartmentalization of the cytoplasm through the presence of membrane-bound organelles. Now, what is this extensive compartment? Just understand this line, okay? Extensive compartmentalization of the cytoplasm. Okay, let's just say that, oh my god, the pen, okay, yeah, that this is a eukaryotic cell. Okay, let's just say that this is a eukaryotic cell. Let's just say this is a eukaryotic cell. In the eukaryotic cell, there is a membrane-bound nucleus, and then there are membrane-bound different types of membrane-bound organelles. So there are so many membranes within the cytoplasm. So it is compartmentalized. There are formation of compartments within the cell membrane. So if this is the cytoplasm, since this is the cytoplasm is the fluid matrix of the cell. The fluid matrix of the cell, this is the cytoplasm, just the fluid inside the plasma membrane of the cell. So there are compartments forming within the cell due to these membrane bound organelles. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So organelles, what is the meaning of organelles? Organelles essentially literally translate to little organs, and organelles essentially, different organs perform specific functions. So since individual cells are able to perform essential functions of life, and each specific function is assigned to like a specific organelle, or a set of functions is assigned to a specific organelle. So different organelles are essentially, they're performing specific functions. So that is what an organelle is. Like even in our body, like let's say lungs. So lungs help us breathe, they help in respiration, and like let's just say, what about our kidneys? They help in purification. Liver help in purification. So these are the things, like specific functions are being performed by each of the organs. So similarly, in a cell, organelles are essentially little organs. They help in performing essential functions of life for the cell itself. Eukaryotic cells possess an organized nucleus with a nuclear envelope. So now why is it organized nucleus? There may be two reasons for that. First is obviously it is a membrane bound nucleus, and the second thing is that during cell division the genetic material is condensed into chromosomes. So chromosomes are organized, and hence you can say that eukaryotic cells have an organized nucleus with a nuclear membrane. In addition to eukaryotic cells, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory, meaning something that helps the organism move. Eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. You know what is cytoskeletal? We are going to go in depth into what cytoskeletal structures are, what are the locomotory structures in the coming pages, in the coming in depth. As I said, first we are going to get a general overview, then we are going to go in depth into the structures within the cell. For now, you can just understand cytoskeletal. Okay, just think of the word itself. Break the word down. It is cyto for cytoplasm and skeletal for skeletal. So what does the skeletal system do for us? Let's just say for us humans, what does the skeletal system do? It gives us structural integrity. True, right? It just gives us structural integrity. Why is my hand shaped like this? It's because the skeletal system is making my hand shape like this, and all the cells are forming around it, and that is why it gives structural integrity to the cell, to humans. So similarly, in cells, cytoskeletal structures are those structures that provide the cell with structural integrity, and they also have another function, which is providing motility of substances within the cell. So let's just say this organelle has produced some protein P. So for this protein P, but this protein P is to be used in this organelle, is to be used by this organelle. So how does this protein P go from here to this place? That is with the help of these cytoskeletal structures. So there are two major functions of cytoskeletal structures. First is providing structural integrity, and then the other function is to provide motility of substances within the cell itself. Okay, then they're saying that genetic material is organized into chromosomes. That is true. Also, I need to point out one thing here. Genetic material is organized into chromosomes. It is true, but for the for majority of the lifespan of the cell, for about 95, almost approximately 95% of the lifespan of the cell, the genetic material is not organized into chromosomes and is just present in a very disorderly, unorganized fashion, just as genetic material. And such a genetic material, this unorganized fashion, it's called chromatin material, and it is only condensed into chromosomes just before cell division, and that takes place only within 5% of the lifespan of the cell. So let's just say the lifespan of a cell is like 100 hours. So only in 95 of the 100 hours, it will just be present in a disorderly fashion, in just randomness. But in the 5% just before the cell divides, 5% means 5 hours just before the cell divides, this random chromatin material condenses to form chromosomes. Now the reason is also very beautiful. Why does it condense to form chromosomes? See, it's so that when the cell divides, the cell can give equal amount of genetic material to both the daughter cells. If it is not organized, if it is just random, how can the cell divide it in perfect equal halves, so that each of the daughter cell gets the necessary genetic material? It's very difficult, right? That is why it is condensed into chromosomes first and then divided equally into both the daughter cells. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. Okay, that's because they're very complex in nature, whereas prokaryotic cells, it has been clearly mentioned that the organization of prokaryotic cells are fundamentally similar, whereas eukaryotic cells are not identical in nature. Plant and animal cells are different, as the former possesses cell walls, plastids, and a large central vacuole, which are absent in animal cells. On the other hand, animal cells have centrioles, which are absent in almost all plant cells. And then we are going to move on to the cell organelles. So one trick to remember the differences between plant and animal cells is just remember C. Just take C. Okay, so plants have cell wall. Plants have a chloroplast, which is a plastid. Chloroplast, which is a plastid. They have a large central vacuole. And they have absence of centriole. Okay, so This is just a simple trick which I learned from a very good teacher, which is Sir Vipin Kumar Sharma sir. So these three are exclusive to plant cells, and this and no is absent in animal cells.